So first important thing is, which I often emphasize, is syllabus. Okay, this I am very sure that it has already been communicated to all of you, but please understand, must have a hard copy of the syllabus at its disposal. First important thing. Article 112 of the Constitution, annual financial statement. Getting my point? Rule 204 of Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business, Lok Sabha uses the term budget. Engendered development is endangered development. Okay, and in Hindi they had written Mahila Sashastikaran ke bina kiya gaya vikas something.
Struggling to stay consistent in your UPSC prep? Feeling lost in the vast syllabus and drowning in current affairs? You're not alone. But here's the truth. Cracking UPSC isn't about studying harder. It's about studying smarter. The UPSC journey can feel like a mountain. Vast syllabus, unpredictable current affairs and intense competition. But with the right strategy and expert guidance, you can conquer it step by step. At VisionIAS Delhi, we don't just teach. We mentor, guide and simplify your preparation. Structured syllabus coverage, prelims, main CSAT and essay, covered in a streamlined, easy-to-flow approach. Current affairs without the hassle. Our PT 365 and Mains 365 programs ensure you stay updated without confusion. One-on-one mentorship. Get personalized guidance to strengthen weak areas and enhance your strengths. Regular tests and feedback. Track progress, analyze mistakes and improve consistently with our expert evaluations. Your UPSC dream deserves clarity and direction. We're here to provide both. Upcoming batches start in Karol Bagh from March 4th at 2 p.m., 11 March at 5 p.m., 13 March at 11 a.m. and 18 March at 8 a.m. and in GTB Nagar from 25th March at 8 a.m. Register now on our website or call us on the given numbers. Let's turn confusion into confidence and make your UPSC dream a reality together.
UPSC preparation is not just about reading books or watching online lectures. It requires personal guidance, real discussions, and structured practice. This is where offline mentoring makes all the difference. Unlike online learning, where doubts often remain unresolved, offline mentoring offers direct interaction, real-time feedback, and an environment of discipline and competition. One-to-one sessions help students get tailored advice, strategy corrections, and focused improvement. Every aspirant has different strengths and weaknesses. Personal mentoring helps address them effectively. Ground discussions sharpen analytical thinking and help students develop a multi-dimensional perspective on issues crucial for prelims, mains, and interview. Elocution sessions help in personality development, clarity of thought, and confidence, essential for UPSC interviews. Test writing is the most crucial part of UPSC preparation. It helps in time management, structuring answers, and improving content quality. Offline mentoring is not just about teaching. It's about grooming future officers with the right guidance, discipline, and confidence. So if you are preparing for UPSC, make sure you have the right mentor by your side.
Good afternoon, all of you. So this, you know the mandate of the session? Okay, what is the mandate of the session? Bataiye. The mandate of the session is we'll have a discussion. There are a series of, you had one session in the morning. This is the first one. Mine is the first one. Okay, no issues. So in the various faculties would be coming. Very briefly, they'll try to whatever experience or whatever possibly they can give to you with respect to preparation. Okay, primarily I teach polity, and that too in GS paper 2, you have polity, international relations, social justice and governance. Primarily I teach polity. Okay, first thing. Second, we will give a brief framework about the preparation and how things go about. Okay, any doubt that you have, any question, academic doubt, related to core aspects of information, that also you can ask. Related to preparation also you can ask a doubt. In between also you can ask, even after the purpose is that you are sitting here, it should be a fruitful endeavor. It should not be the maximum what we can give in 1 hour, that we will try to give. Now dear students, please understand that so when we have been reiterating time and again. Okay, so over the period of time, whatever experience we have, I'm teaching for 9 years. Okay, and what you call, after teaching thousand would be a absolutely wrong, say lakh, okay, at least 80,000 or lakhs of students. Some things which we have gathered from experience, and how the UPSC has went about the changes. Although the syllabus has not been revised for more than 10 years, it was 2013 that UPSC brought. I hope you know about the scheme of examination. Very briefly, I'll venture into that so that you understand the things that have happened. Initially, when the examination process began, there was no prelims. When my father appeared, there was no prelims. Somewhere around 1979, directly students used to appear for main stage of the examination. But due to the increase in the number of stage in mains, it is not possible to evaluate the answer scripts of thousands of students. So from 1979, they introduced prelims. Okay. In the prelim stage also, there used to be two papers. Okay. One paper was a sort of general studies paper one, second was an optional paper. Okay, so in the prelim stage of the examination, there used to be an optional paper. For example, if you have opted for history, there would be questions, objective type questions in the prelim stage. So till 2010, this was the scene that paper one used to be GS. In GS, there was a small quantitative aptitude. Reasoning, these all things were in GS paper only. Reasoning, logical reasoning, small quantitative aptitude they used to ask in GS1, which now is a new paper. And after the break, you used to have an optional paper of objective type. So prelims was a different game. Why? Because the marks was evaluated after counting both the papers. So if you are, for example, people are very good in history, they have an academic background in history, so they will score in the second paper, they will score maximum. So which will in a way cater or balance their less score in the so the entire demand of examination was different. But from 2011, why? Reason hai, second administrative reforms commission. First administrative reform commission was there. Second administrative reform commission by and large was of the view that there must be a change in the syllabus of UPSC, so that the kind of civil servants that we are recruiting, that must reflect the contemporary realities. And also, you know that logical reasoning has a lot of elements in what you call in the administrative experience, and thousands of students who have qualified from the class, and we meet every single day. So of course, the challenges that have come over the period of time are absolutely different from the challenges that were there before the advent, before say 50 years. And also post liberalization, there is a retreat of state. You know, retreat of state? The state is withdrawing from many sectors. The state is withdrawing from many sectors. For example, you had public sector bank. Now we have Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, HSBC, Housing Development Finance Corporation, Industrial Credit Investment Corporation of India, ICICI. So we have a public sector bank and we also have a private sector. Similarly, many sectors state is retreating. So now the challenge of state is different. We don't have foreign exchange regulation. We don't have foreign exchange management now. So various aspects of civil servants job profile change. New services also were created. Just say at the time of independence, you cannot envisage corporate law service. Okay, now we have a corporate law service. So new challenges have come. All these recommendations were given by the second ARC. Finally, from 2011, they eliminated the scheme of examination that was there before. They brought a new paper, CSAT paper 2 and general studies paper 1, which we call CSAT paper 1 and CSAT paper 2. So CSAT paper 1 is popularly called as general studies paper, but the name of paper is CSAT paper 1 and the second paper is CSAT paper 2. A small element of quantitative aptitude that used to be in the GK paper was made a completely new paper. So from 2011, they have brought two papers. They eliminated optional as the stage of prelims. Now you don't have optional as this at the stage of prelims. You have general studies and you have an aptitude paper, which is absolutely wrong to call it mathematics. It is absolutely naive to call it mathematics. It is not math. It is logical reasoning. It is logical reasoning. You have to give answers as per the aptitude. So which I am not, that is not my mandate for the day. So I'll not delve into the same. So they brought this change. One major change was brought from CSE 2013. There used to be two optional paper, but optionals do not create a level playing field. Optionals do not create a level playing field. Maybe possible a person doesn't have that strong an aptitude, but he's very good in chemistry and physics. Getting my point? So he may score very high marks. And second important thing, optionals vary. In sociology, you're writing an answer which may be evaluated subjectively by a scholar or a professor. Primarily, I see from Delhi University and other universities, assistant and associate professors usually don't go for evaluation. Either it is professor, sometimes it may be associate professor. Assistant professor, to getting into it. So mainly professors. So there is an element of subjectivity in the various optionals. For example, mathematics, physics, statistics, or any such optional which is related to science, chemistry. You have more objectivity where you will get marks. But sociology, there is an element of subjectivity. So they wanted to bring a pattern in which there is more level playing field. First reason, so they eliminated one optional. एक optional उन्होंने eliminate किया. Rather than having two optional, you have one optional, and they brought two new papers. One that is paper 3, where you have science and technology, economics and all, and which was actually taken out from the already 2 GS papers which you were having, and a new paper was introduced. This was also second ARC recommending, that is ethics, integrity and aptitude. So from CSE 2013 they asked, but a major change that you can see without changing the syllabus, the kind of questions that they are asking in prelims have substantially changed. Honestly speaking, in the class also, all those questions that were asked in 2018-19, we don't take it as a benchmark also. If you know that question, of course, that is the basic eligibility to fill the form. That is even if you are a serious aspirant and you are filling the form, you must know those facts, but those are not the direct questions which UPSC is asking anymore. Just go sit down with yourself, go through the question papers that were asked last 10 years and go through the question papers that have been asked in last 3 years. The kind of questions which UPSC used to ask, factual question, that how many spokes are there in Indian flag? A person who is preparing for lower divisional clerk or staff selection commission also knows that there are 24 spokes, but these kinds of questions UPSC is no more asking. They are asking questions which are based on concept and understanding rather than which are based on facts. Even if they are asking a static question, they are not 2 statements they would give or 3 statements they would give, 1 or 2 would be static and third would be conceptual. For example, you see quite often that there is a debate going on related to the office of governor. So Article 200 of the Constitution about the approval of bills by the governor. So first statement they will give which is a static fact from the Constitution. But the second statement they will give which will be conceptual in nature about the nature and office of what you call governor. Similarly, from fundamental rights, gone are the days when UPSC are asking a question which all rights promote right to equality from Article 14 to 18. These questions they used to ask 8 years back. Now they are asking a question, which of the following best defines liberty? At least there will be 2 options which would be correct, but UPSC is asking which of the following best defines liberty. So 2 statements are correct, but you are required to answer which is the best. So undoubtedly with time everything changes. You must understand, I am teaching for 8-9 years. You see the synopsis which I used to teach 5 years back and the synopsis which I am teaching now has completely changed and it has metamorphosed. We used to complete in 34 classes. Now 42 classes also is not enough for polity, in spite of, because every year so many new things, new challenges are coming up. So we must cope with the contemporary challenges and there must be a level of sincerity and honesty. So I'm just revising what I said, that from 2011 they brought the CSAT paper 2, okay, which has a quantitative. 13 say they brought 2 new papers and eliminated an optional. The more optional papers you have, the more level playing field is absent. Okay, why? Because some optionals are 2 scoring and some optionals are relatively less scoring. So that creates an uneven. In fact, there is a recommendation to eliminate the optional, but at least they must check the academic seriousness, because GS doesn't give you an insight into academic seriousness. For example, a person who is just a graduate, so there will be a level playing field for everyone. At least you must test him that he's a scholar in political science, for that matter, public administration, geography, history, psychology. So they must have some gravity, academic gravity into the students. So at least they have retained one optional, which over the period of time, we are not competent to make a comment on that, may go over the period of time. Now please come. So first thing, that the scheme of examination, I'm pretty sure all of you sitting in the class are conscious about the scheme of examination. Of course, we have to see, the point is that it is an open-ended exam. Every year, honestly speaking, I am myself surprised. There are students sitting over here in this very class answering every question, and there is a student sitting at the corner hardly speaking for entire 40 lectures. Suddenly I see him in a reel. I don't remember. Of course, it is impossible for me. Suddenly I see him in a reel that he got some 50 rank or 61 rank. So this is an open-ended exam. Anybody who is sitting in the corner, this is an open-ended exam. Anybody, we also surprise. Not necessary those students who have been academically very rich, they only will qualify, and this is the examination result is testimony to that. So first important thing is, which I often emphasize, is syllabus. Okay, this I am very sure that it has already been communicated to all of you, but please understand, whenever you will prepare for an exam, how naive it is to go about a war without understanding the war. You know, for example, if I give you a news to write about gender sensitivity, an essay of 3,000 words on gender sensitivity, if you will straight away, or you write an essay about regional inequality, or you write an essay about the diversity of India, so if you will initially just start writing an essay, you may not write a very good essay. For first 15 minutes, you will make a rough draft where you will make the points that you are going to write. So it is said that for a 2-hour war, they sharpen their weapon for 2 years. For a 2-hour war, they sharpen their weapon for 2 years. Undoubtedly, syllabus is very important. Whoever frames the question paper, he has a hard copy of syllabus at his table. Okay. Every single alphabet that is, I can give you zillions of example, but due to paucity of time, I won't be, because you have so many lectures lined up. Okay, so whoever frames the question paper, he has the copy of syllabus in his mind, right in front of him. Every single key term that is mentioned in the syllabus, whatever key terms have been mentioned in the syllabus, he will try to frame a question from them only. You can very easily find questions in mains which directly match the terms mentioned in the syllabus, be it pressure groups, be it role of civil services in democracy, be it e-governance. I would equally accept that UPSC has not been that magnanimous in detailing out the syllabus of prelims. UPSC has been very miser, very conjuice in detailing out the syllabus of prelims. They just give open-ended statement. It is a 1-paragraph syllabus. Current issues of national and international importance. Current issues of national and international importance. Indian constitution, political system, panchayati raj, rights issue, etc. Which is the most dangerous term. Everything under the sky they will ask, and they will say this is because we have mentioned over there, etc. I'll give you example. Representation of People Act 1950 and 1951 is mentioned in the mains part of the syllabus, but UPSC cannot shy away from asking it in prelims also, and they will say that it is written, etc. So they have written Indian constitution, political system, rights issue, etc. Then they have current issues of national and international importance. So in the prelim stage of the examination, they have not given a very what you call a comprehensive or a very broad syllabus. But over the period of time, with the best available knowledge, whatever God has bestowed us, we try to frame a framework. Within this framework, only questions are asked. It is equally important that always there will be 5 to 10 questions. Nobody in the history of UPSC can score 200 out of 200, or average 76 out of 200 was the cutoff last year. 76 out of 200 was the cutoff last. Understand, 76 out of 3 lakh students, they took around 18,000 students or 19,000. Out of those 19,000 students, only 6,000 non-EWS, 7,000. So out of 4 lakh students, 7,000 students scored the cutoff of 76. So it is not, there would be few questions which UPSC doesn't want you to solve. They are there in the examination hall to test. They are meant to be skipped. Otherwise, broadly with our experience, we get a gauge of it, we get an understanding of the same, that what kind of questions UPSC is going to ask. Of course, without a shadow of doubt, UPSC also makes a surprising element, because they want to deinstitutionalize the process. So they ask questions which can be from any source. So please understand, कि prelims में तो we will give you a brief framework, मतलब very comprehensive discussion on various topics. Whatever is mentioned in the syllabus, we try to carve out a boundary. We have regular meetings, whatever academic. There is a lecture plan that is provided to us, which keeps on changing as per the what your syllabus and requirements of the time, which we will comprehensively cover. Means में UPSC has been magnanimous. UPSC has given a very detailed syllabus, and there is no what you call isolated preparation of prelims and mains. They both are Absolutely integrated. Only few topics which UPSC has given in the main stage of the examination, which you will find missing in the prelims, like role of civil services in democracy, e-governance, although they also ask question from there in current affairs also, and representation of people act 1950-51, poverty, hunger specifically they have mentioned, or provisions related to international relations, although IR questions are also there in prelims. So I very strongly recommend that whoever is a serious candidate must have a hard copy of the syllabus at its disposal, first important thing. Or you are, this I often say, I'm again repeating the same, you are not, there cannot be a single candidate who is serious and who doesn't have idea about the syllabus. Second thing is, you are not required to memorize the syllabus. It is childish, foolish to memorize the syllabus. You just go through the syllabus at frequent intervals. Over the period of time, 5-6 months ke baad, you will gradually have a complete understanding of the syllabus. What is the point? That whenever you read an item in the newspaper, you must immediately relate that this is related to that topic of the syllabus. So sitting down and memorizing the syllabus is not the demand of exam, but going through the process and gradually understanding that this is syllabus. Next is, it is equally wrong to say what you call that syllabus is so much isolated from each papers. I can give you many examples where syllabus is interlinked. Jaise, for example, in this class, if I ask what is budget, so budget you will take polity or you will take economy. You Article 112 of the Constitution, annual financial statement. Getting my point? Rule 204 of Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business, Lok Sabha uses the term budget. So be it the Constitution, be it Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business, be it the Appropriation Bill, Financial Bill 1, Financial Bill 2, be it Money Bills, Article 109 and 110. So budget is in paper 2 also, and budget is in paper 3, that is GS paper 2 and GS paper 3. Single. On 8th October 2021, 8 October, 2022, the mains of 2021 was conducted in 2022. Okay, because of COVID, the mains was postponed by 3 months. So January 2022, they conducted mains. There was a question on Finance Commission in paper 3, economics. Okay, so Finance Commission, Article 280 of the Constitution and Article 281 of the Constitution. So Finance Commission, we teach in the class as a part of polity, but it is also taught in economics. So it is wrong to say that syllabus is completely delinked and isolated. There are also elements of interdisciplinary. You only say, is geography and IR a different thing? A very large substantial element, India's foreign policy towards Pakistan, China, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka is also because of they are our. Imagine Pakistan, a country in South America, then there would be no point in having such an important element in Indian foreign. Imagine China being in the north to Mongolia, then China would not be a part of Indian foreign policy. So there is a brutal element. I'll give you a question. When this thing happened in Afghanistan 3-4 years back, that change happened on 15th August. So I said in the class that UPSC is not concerned with you knowing that who has become the minister under the new government, which all troops, on which date they came to the capital, or what all things they did. UPSC is not interested.
Preparing for the UPSC Civil Services examination demands a solid grasp of every mains paper. Among them, the optional subject paper plays a crucial role in determining your final rank. A strong command over your optional subject can give you the competitive edge needed for success. To help you master this crucial aspect, VisionIAS presents the Optional Classroom Program 2026, available in live online and classroom offline modes for Geography, Sociology, Political Science and International Relations. Batch starts from 20th June, 2 p.m.
UPSC is more interested in asking an interdisciplinary question. I'll give you 5 examples. So next year, if there was a refugee crisis in Afghanistan and you are posted there as a diplomat, so you will not send people to troposphere. You will safely evacuate Indian citizens. So they ask the question, which all countries share contiguous boundary with the state of. So a event in international relation, but the question is asked from geography. A flight MH314 something 8-9 years back got drowned in in the Southeast Asia. You know about that flight, which is one of the famous incidents. Next year, they asked the question, arrange all the capitals from south to north in Southeast Asia. There was an issue in the West Asia. They asked the question about geographical location of Sinai Peninsula. There is a war going on in Ukraine and Russia. They will ask a geography question. So UPSC has this brutal habit of asking an interdisciplinary question. I'll give you one more example. There was a judgment given Sabrimala, Indian Young Lawyers Association case. So Sabrimala, which is in Pathanamthitta district of Kerala, near Periyar Tiger Reserve. So a judgment was given on Sabrimala. You must have faintly heard about the same. Next year, UPSC asked a question, if you are traveling from Kottayam to Kohima, Kottayam is in Kerala and Kohima is Nagaland, how many states, minimum number of states you are likely to travel? So if there is an issue in polity or international relation, they may ask a question from geography. So, please understand कि whom UPSC is a die-hard fan of a person having common sense. UPSC is a die-hard fan of a person, because if there is a, God forbid, if there is a fire opposite to this building, you will not look for the books. Acha, we will douse the fire, will rule 82. You will immediately look for the solutions. So they want those students who are brutally aware. I don't have time. There are so many questions which you don't need any book. Just by the common sense in the examination hall, you will be able to answer. Once they asked many years back, why do polar bears and penguins never meet? Why do they never meet? Geographical reason. What they get confused. But the answer is, one is in North Pole, one is in South Pole. So these kind of questions where they ask a question where they expect whether you in the examination hall, whether you have lost the common sense or not. So please understand, understanding of the syllabus, especially from the main stage of the examination, is very important. Every key term that is mentioned in the syllabus, you're not going to memorize. You should have an idea that if disaster, I often say this, syllabus is purely because of interlinkages of topics. You only say that, there are two things, society and social justice. For example, you study about gender discrimination, okay? You study about caste-based discrimination. You study about linguistic chauvinism. You study about ethnic chauvinism. You study about any such inequality. You study about discrimination towards persons with disabilities or differently abled population. So many things you study. Many of them has historical aspect. Many of them have. Do you think that the gender-based discrimination has a historical connotation? It has a caste-based discrimination has a historical connotation. So society is placed in paper 1 as a part of history and geography. But what you do to do away that? So what you will do for person with disabilities, Right of Persons with Disabilities Act has been passed. For caste-based discrimination, you have Protection of Civil Rights Act, SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act. For ethnic, what you call, we have such India is a land of melting pot. India is not a land of melting pot. India is a land of salad ball. For example, if I make a soup, all the ingredients that I invite to make a soup, they will lose their identity. Finally, there will be a soup. India is not a land of melting pot. India is a land of salad ball, where onion, cucumber, tomato, they all stay together without losing their identity. The founding mothers and fathers in the Constituent Assembly have incorporated so many provisions in the Constitution where we have recognized the beautiful diversity of India. Getting my point? So you must have an understanding in that. So if you, as a civil servant, what will you do? What is the principal mandate of the government? Government का सबसे पहला काम क्या है? क्या है बताइए? जी? First mandate is unity and first, what is the most important mandate of the government? सबसे पहली mandate है government की to maintain the territorial sanctity of India, sovereignty and integrity of India. उसके बाद secularism, welfareism, federalism, public order, law and order, everything comes secondary. First is country. So the principal mandate of the government is to maintain the sovereignty and integrity of the country. Then you have so many mandates. Now, as a civil servant, what will you do? क्या करेंगे आप? ठीक है, you will maintain public order, करेंगे. उसके साथ साथ you will promote social justice. If someone comes, old lady comes, Article 41 of the Constitution, old age, differently abled, Article 41 of the Constitution. If you provide, so you will also promote social justice. Hundreds of schemes are going on to promote, to safeguard the interest of old age, to safeguard the interest of differently abled, to safeguard the interest of scheduled caste, to safeguard the interest of scheduled tribe, to safeguard the interest of minorities, to safeguard the interest of other backward classes. So you will also promote social justice. आपका एक ये भी काम रहेगा, one of your mandate will be to promote social justice. When you will sit as the district magistrate, you will also promote social justice. So social justice is in GS paper 2. Society is in GS paper 1 and social justice is in GS paper 2, because social justice is related to governance. Social justice is related to governance. One last thing. India's history. What is one factor which has influenced India's history the most? इंडिया की जो पूरी हिस्ट्री, आर ब्यूटीफुल कंट्री, द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया इज वन फैक्टर विच हैज अफेक्टेड द मोस्ट. उससे बड़ा कोई फैक्टर नहीं. ज्योग्राफी. ज्योग्राफी. सो ज्योग्राफी एंड हिस्ट्री हैव बीन प्लेस्ड इन paper 1. So the syllabus has been so drafted that topics that are of interlinkage, they are placed under one paper, and there is also an interdisciplinary element. All these things are not factual in nature. See, this is not a school exam. I remember ma'am used to say ki Indus Valley Civilization 2 chapters would come. I used to memorize and be excited on the day of exam. Question paper mila. The moment I got the question paper, I start writing. After 3 hours, I will just do like this, 85. This is not that. That one book is prescribed and all the questions will be asked from that book. If that is the case, this will not be a UPSC exam. You must understand the syllabus and what all things are happening around you. How you are able to link that with the demand of the examination. Today only, just before an hour, I completed a batch. That is why I got delayed. One common question which I see is thousands of students. Ab to chalo itna saal, I see the student, one thing, too much information. One of the reasons why engineers are making it to the examination, one of the reason is also that they are very, very focused. So it is equally important to know that what not to study rather than what to study. And let me honestly confess this before you. There is hardly a single day which some senior civil servants or contemporary civil servants or some friends or some students who is civil servant I don't meet, or kahin mulaqat ho gayi, marriage, anything. The more I interact, the more I am sure that they are into services because they know less. If you know too much, it is always going to be problematic. You must see, we are inquisitive by nature. If they will talk something, if these two people will talk something and they will not share with you, it has nothing to do with you. Still a person will be excited what they are talking. So human beings are inquisitive by nature. When we will start learning, so many new vistas would open where you will be excited. It is more important to know that here you are preparing for a competitive exam. It is always respectful. When you are knowledgeable, you are respected in the society. When you exhibit your opulence over knowledge, people will respect you. But the real respect you will get when you will qualify. There are so many scholars at so many places who are well read, but they are not into services. One has to understand that in an era of democratization of knowledge, where we are flooded with information, it is brutally important to know that zillions of things you are not required to study, and there are very few things which you are required to study. That is something which is very important. Otherwise, every day a new portal is coming. Our respected teacher more than 15, 13 or many years back said that we live in an era of bombardment of information. Internet is a double-edged sword. One internet can make you, one internet can break you. You must know how to use diligently. So syllabus you will go through. Second important thing, that UPSC used to ask question in mains from newspaper. Okay. So let's, for example, come to the current affairs. So VisionIAS current affairs, monthly current affairs magazine, since you have started preparing, some of you may know or may not know. Impartially you ask anyone, wherever he is staying in Itanagar or Gandhinagar, Ladakh or Rameshwaram, taking from academic support from any institute, he will go through current affairs. It is known, monthly current affairs magazine is the benchmark for the industry. You ask anyone impartially, that he will immediately, promptly, all the toppers would recommend that we went through PT 365, Main 365 and VisionIAS current affairs. Current affairs is very good, but main course meal cannot be replaced by cashew nuts. Current affairs बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन I can write down with my blood. It's good, but it cannot replace newspaper. It cannot replace newspaper. So those who are not reading newspaper throughout the year, they will definitely be at drawback compared to those people who are reading newspaper throughout the year. Initially, when I see students reading newspaper, undoubtedly they take 2 hours, because they don't have that academic distinction that what news is important and what news is not. See, I'm being a bit fast, reason being that I have to give a lot in a short period of time, otherwise I will just be sticking on few things. Okay, so what is important, dear students, key newspapers cannot replace the current affairs. Newspapers cannot replace the current affairs. I will not go into the great what you call debate whether the Hindu or Indian Express without delving into the same. Undoubtedly you must read newspapers. I'll give you many examples. Why do you need to read newspaper? First important thing, newspapers say you may not get too much information. Why? Because a piece of news item, the whoever the reporter has a very short space. The reporter is given 150 words. He went to a place, he attended a seminar, there was a press information bureau, or there is a cabinet release. Us cabinet release is of 1200 words. Usse he has only 150 words. So in newspaper, you may not get too much information all the time. For example, they are writing about the judgment of Supreme Court. They may not give you a background about the judgment all the time. But what is the benefit of that? Ki newspapers enrich you academically. First important thing, that the explained section in newspaper, you see in Hindu as well as in Indian Express. Okay. In Hindu as well as in Indian Express, the explained sector give you a very comprehensive background of the topic. First important thing. Second important thing, it will make you academically more mature. Okay. You don't know, when you will read newspaper for 7-8 months, you will not even get to know. आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा, and you have changed to a different individual. I am reading newspaper for 18-19 years. Although so many of friends and all those people are into services, they still come and tease कि अभी भी Hindu getting my पढ़ता ही है. So the point is, I cannot live. Okay, if I will not read newspaper, of course I have to teach. I have to be one step ahead of the student. The static information is good, which over the years you ask from article 1 to 395, almost anything under the sky, if it is required, you ask, we will randomly, but we have to be updated with the contemporary reality. Newspapers enrich you academically. You follow a topic in chronology, that this happened in April, this happened in May. It develops your intellectual ability and enriches your understanding of the topic. Second thing. Third important thing, it helps you in exceptional manner in your vocabulary. I'll give you an example. UPSC asked a question 7 or 8 years back. ऐसे में एक question आया, engendered development is endangered development. Okay, and in Hindi they had written Mahila Sashashtikaran ke bina kiya gaya vikas something. Okay, so the term engender has multiple connotation. Okay, so there are some students who wrote essay on something different. Some students wrote essay on women gender development. Some students wrote essay on a different, because the term engender has multiple connotation. It is available on internet. Shashi Tharoor ji wrote a letter to UPSC that this term engender has multiple connotation. What connotation UPSC is going to take while evaluating the answer script? This is available in public domain. UPSC replied that okay, we will all the possible connotations coming out from the term engender we will take. Okay, so the point is, it also enriches your vocabulary. Next, those questions, now UPSC, this used to be a matter in mains, but in prelims also, to surprise the students, they are asking questions which are frequently appearing in newspaper. And also you will learn the art of framing answers, how you will write. So I will very strongly recommend newspaper. Third is NCERT textbooks. Okay, so please understand ki first of all, there are 4 textbooks in polity. Okay, 2 textbooks are there, Democratic Politics Part 1 and Part 2. These are easy textbooks. 2 textbooks are exceptionally important. One is Indian Constitution at Work, other is what you call political theory. My favorite NCERT is political theory, class 11th NCERT. In last 10 years, almost every year UPSC has asked the question from that NC NCERT. Now let me tell you what is so beautiful about NCERT. First, of course, it is important from the examination point of view. Second, when you tend to read NCERT, see all the examination conducted. Why is UPSC so respected? All the examination conducted by UPSC has a benchmark. ये यूपीएस सिविल सर्विस एग्जामिनेशन नहीं, इंडियन स्टैटिस्टिकल सर्विस, इंडियन इकोनॉमिस्ट सर्विस, इंडियन जियोलॉजिस्ट सर्विस, इंडियन फॉरेस्ट सर्विस, सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जामिनेशन, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हेल्थ सर्विसेज, सीडीएस सर्विसेज, यू हैव सीएपीएफ सर्विसेज, सेंट्रल असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, व्हाट यू कॉल होम्योपैथिक कॉलेजेस, दीस डेज यूपीएससी इंटरव्यू इज गोइंग ऑन. कोई भी एग्जाम यूपीएससी कंडक्ट कराती है, यूपीएससी हैज अ स्टैंडर्ड. It will not ask too much fact. It will check the intellectual ability of the student. I know somebody in some other exam also said that in our discipline also the benchmark set by UPSC is different. UPSC is not very much interested in knowing that whether you have memorized the facts or not. It is more interested in checking your understanding on your skill set. Now, I'll tell you, NCERT books are very basic. Okay, when you read those books, especially in polity and other topics which you enjoy reading, you will see that you will feel that these things I know. And believe me, UPSC will frame a question from that page only and trap you. UPSC enjoys that inner Mephistophelian smile. God forbid to say that. UPSC enjoys in trapping you where you are strongest. They will not ask you how many chairs are there in this class. They will ask you when you entered, how many doors are there in the class. So UPSC enjoys you in asking whether you are alert or not. They asked a very basic question. They opened class 11th physical geography book. On the left hand side, first page mein it was given, the east to west extent of India's boundary is this. They took that line from there and asked the question, and many students got it wrong. So a very easy question, but they are able to trap you. NCERT give you a very solid understanding of the basic. I'll give you one more example. Because 11th की book है political theory. कोई Rousseau, Marx, Frederick Engels and all those people, no, they have not. They're just given basic. What do you mean by liberty? What do you mean by equality? What do you mean by fraternity? What do you mean by secularism? What do you mean by nation? What do you mean by state? What is the equal protection of laws? What do you mean by the fraternity, term fraternity? Every year they are asking concept-based questions. And you will not be able to answer those questions unless you have an understanding of the concept. Because one, if you have seen that web series, there was Aspirant. Okay, there was not Aspirant, Quota Factory. In that web series, the teacher gives some 20-25 questions to the student. Student is able to answer 18 questions, but not 7 questions or whatever. He says this. You were able to answer 18 questions. Why? Because these 18 questions I have asked from the book, and 7 questions you have not able to answer because these 7 questions are nowhere on earth. This I have framed myself. I don't get time, but when Abhyas exercise and all, I said that I will be preparing questions. When I see those questions which are mundane, they are new questions, but at the back of the book or something, those mundane questions are there. But those questions which I see, I'm teaching now, if I will be framing 100 questions, it will take time. Of course, it will take 10 days, 5 to 7 days at least. I need to give time. Not a single question would be there which will be found in any book, because it will be purely based on concept. There is a difference between information and knowledge. What you derive from information is knowledge. For example, you want to travel to Lucknow. So you will gain all the information. If I take air, this will be the cost, time, comfort. And if I take train, this will be the cost, time, comfort. If I take my vehicle, this will be the cost, time, comfort. If I take a public transport, this will be the cost, time and comfort. On the basis of that information, then what you will derive is knowledge. So in other exams, many exams, IIT and all other exams are also rich, but in many exams, school exams primarily, they only test your information. They don't test your knowledge. Ma'am ne bata diya, these 7 chapters are there. We will memorize those 7 chapters. There will be question. We'll go and write and get all the, no. So they are asking a question, what France can learn from Indian secularism? What France can learn from Indian secularism? This was a question that was asked in mains. What is the effect of globalization on old age population? Now for Indus Valley civilization, they said what contemporary urban town planning can learn from Indus Valley civilization. So they are asking questions where they are forcing you to think in the examination hall, not those questions, what are the 7 features of Indus Valley civilization? A person who is in class 11th also, if you give him a book, he will go and write all the 7 points, and no, they will not. What contemporary town planning can learn from Indus Valley? Now you tell me, if you don't have an understanding of the concept, how will you answer these questions? First of all, these NCERTs give you a very solid foundation. Don't think that they are written by top-notch scholars of the country. National Curriculum Framework, जो है NCERT headquarter is in South Delhi. There was some people working here. They were doing PhD from NCERT also. हमारी employee organization में. So NCERT is a very, very researchful and a very respectful organization. Top, not associate professors, top professors of the country, they are part of National Curriculum Framework. Then they frame those topics in a very easy and lucid manner for the students. So undoubtedly NCERT remains ubiquitously important, all the time important. It is exceptionally important for the exam. So I said you have the what you call syllabus, you have newspaper, and you have NCERT. Newspaper mein dekhiye, I don't want to go into everyday debate, sir Hindu or Indian Express. Hindu का क्या है? Hindu is a very precise newspaper. Hindu is a costly newspaper with less number of pages. Hindu is a costly newspaper with less number of pages. Uske half दाम में you will get, half price में you will get certain papers which are too voluminous. Why? Because there are advertisement. What is so special about Hindu? Hindu को jokingly they say सीधी बात no बकवास. सीधी बात no. You will never see Hindu exaggerating the font size. India wins World Cup. Whatever happens, okay, they will not exaggerate the font size. They will just, because they purely academic paper. They stick to the mandate. Din ho, raat ho, whether it is day, night, whether it is summer, winter, whether it is desert or frost, they will maintain the standard. They will write just precise whatever the news without sensationalizing the news. So that is why it has become an academic paper, क्योंकि उसमें you don't have a news that is wasteful. But other than those things which are not important, always remember, gradually you will learn the art of reading newspaper. So initially you will find 2 hours, gradually after attending the classes and all, you will see, oh, now we can do newspaper in 40-45 minutes, because you know what is important and what is not important. So the Hindu sticks to the mandate of the what you call, anything happens, they will not exaggerate. They'll just keep the font very, very simple. So I jokingly say, always I say this, Eurasian plate, European Asian plate is what you call, is packed like this. Even they separate, okay. So they will give in the corner, Eurasian plate separates, China separated. Getting my point? They will not keep it a very exaggerated. So this is so beauty about any newspaper. Indian Express is also good. It is also catering to the demands of UPSC. That perfectly depends on. So this, then see. Then internet. Okay, I remember many years back when internet has arrived. Just few years after that, there was a topper who was visiting University of Delhi. Topper visiting University of Delhi, Department of Urdu. Okay, so there used to be, we were like young, so we used to take part in all the seminars and all. We went there. This is more than 15 years back. Okay. So the point is 14-15 years more, whatever. So the point is, said ki I use internet diligently. This was the statement given more than decades back when the internet has arrived. You undoubtedly, internet has democratized knowledge. And I'll give you a reason. Just 20 years back, if I would say Representation of People Act 1950 or Representation of People Act 1951, just imagine, Representation of People Act 1950 has 32 sections, 1951 has more than 100 and more than 130 sections. And there are so many laws. So if I want to check something, that whether this is written every day for 3 hours, we will be using the technology. Pura 3 ghanta, we will open the constitution, we will open the laws, we'll keep on doing things from the. Now, before 20 years, if you want to check something from a law, what will you do? One, you will go to the shopkeeper and ask him whether you have a copy of that law. If you want to test a small comma also, that whether it is 10 or 20, you will go to the shopkeeper. Most likely he may have the law or he may not have the law. If there is an amendment and he's in a small town or the state capital, he will say, okay, the new printed version will be available next month. So to check a small information also, you have to wait for months, or you have to travel to the library. Now within a click, I can check which bills are passed, what are the new amendments. So we are accessing information zillion times more than what our predecessors have done. So that has made my life easy. We are reading articles day and night, every day we delve into all those things, but that has also made the life of aspirants difficult. Why? You are so the benchmark to test you is more than what it was. The previous 15 years back, they could not ask those questions because those information was not available to aspirant. Now more information is available to the aspirant. Undoubtedly, this what you call internet is oxygen, but it is purely a double-edged sword. You can cut a cake with a knife and you can also cut your finger. Okay, so you have to be very diligent. There are certain sites, usually we dissuade from discussing any site that is private in nature. We usually don't discuss, but some are actually academically so rich that they have created a benchmark for them. In fact, sometimes in parliamentary debates and all, they are mentioned. So ek to chalo, these days Supreme Court has started Supreme Court judgment summaries. Judgment summaries, Center for Policy and Research karke, if you will search Supreme Court judgment summaries, whatever judgment have been given, they themselves provide you a very brief summary. Very brief summary they will give you. Aap jaake abhi I'll show you also.
Stop wasting hours on scattered current affairs preparation. VisionIAS Digital Current Affairs Premium gives you AI-powered answers, expert feedback, and structured revision all in one place. Instant AI answers, no more endless searches, get precise syllabus-aligned insights in seconds. Daily answer writing, expert feedback to sharpen your mains responses. Quick notes and highlights, organize, revise, and retain key concepts effortlessly. Plus, free features. Daily news summaries from the Hindu and Indian Express, quizzes and MCQs to test your progress, and downloadable PDFs for seamless revision. Study smarter, not harder. To know more, visit our website now.
Okay, so they themselves are providing. Supreme Court themselves, for example, last year so many judgments that you heard in 2024. Okay. For example, although you are not preparing, but you still heard about the term socialist and secular in the preamble. You heard about Aligarh Muslim University. Har judgment ka, every judgment they have provided you the synopsis. They provided you the synopsis. So there are many sources. This is Center for Policy and Research that is inside Supreme Court only. You see Center for Research and Research and Planning, Supreme Court of India. You can give the Supreme Court judgment summaries. So this website sometimes for some judgments we see. Then one website which is actually very important is PRS Legislative. I'm sure you must have heard about this. This is very famous. PRS Legislative. PRS Legislative में कोई भी नई बिल पास हुई है, any new bill has been passed, what is the discussion? जैसे अभी वक्फ bill, what is the discussion about the bill? What are the issues with the bill? What is the critical analysis of the bill? What changes have been brought with the bill? On which or when it was passed, whether it is passed or it is pending, everything is given in this PRS Legislative. एक और है ऐसे तो चलिए. There is one more qualitative sites, SC Observer. SC Observer. Okay, SC Observer is standard. It is also a standard for. You have heard about SC Observer? It is one of the famous sites. Okay, for Supreme Court judgments primarily. But I used to refer to SC Observer. It's actually very rich. But nowadays Supreme Court themselves are providing the judgment. So, but here the difference is here you will not find pending cases. Here you will also find summary of. So there are many cases which are, for example, Waqf bill has been challenged. So now it will be called as a pending case. For example, economically weaker section judgment came, so it was a pending case. For example, the judgment on CAA is still pending, so it is a pending. So pending case mein what all issues are going on, you will find, for example, with respect to demonetization, judgment came. For example, with respect to you have SC/ST Act, Subhash Kashinath Mahajan case, or for that matter anything. Sabrimala case has been challenged. Sabrimala verdict has been challenged. So review, matlab review petition has not challenged. Technically review petition has been filed. So under Article 137 of the Constitution, Supreme Court can review its own judgment. Article 137. So the point is, so all these things which are pending will also be, you can find over here. So I would say Supreme Court judgments, PRS, legislative, SC observer. Ek aur baat. Before 10 years, they never used to ask the articles. Because usually UPSC doesn't have the habit of asking factual question that what is the capital of Ukraine and what is the capital of North Korea. ये सब UPSC नहीं, SSC और State PSC पूछती है. State PSC भी अब नहीं पूछती. Usually this SSC and all those exams which are more factual oriented, they ask these kind of questions. Okay, now listen. Nowadays, so many things, people are not reading the primary source. वो Constitution ना पढ़ के वो बुक्स पढ़ रहे, लक्ष्मीकांत और other book. It's good book to give you a basic understanding. It's a wonderful book. Now listen, in last 5 years there has not been a single year when UPSC has not asked the question directly from the Constitution. I'll give you many reasons. For example, all of you sitting in the class, or many of you may have heard the term veto. So UPSC will ask how many kinds of vetoes are mentioned in the Constitution. But the term veto is not mentioned in the Constitution. It is an interpretation of Article 111. For example, you heard about special majority, simple majority, effective majority, absolute majority. Types of majorities is not mentioned. Only 2/3 of the members present and voting. Majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting. So what is written in the book is just an explanation of the Constitution, and UPSC is asking a question according to the Constitution of India. The term judicial review is defined. According to the Constitution of India, Attorney General resigns when the government changes. According to the Constitution of India, which of the following vetoes are present? They may ask this question. According to the Constitution of India, what is this particular thing happens? Since people are reading from the secondary source, चूंकि लोग secondary source से पढ़ रहे हैं, so UPSC constantly is checking whether you have read the Constitution or the secondary source. Even if they are asking बच्चों, even if they are asking one question, how many questions are asked in prelims in polity? 12 to 14 questions. We work throughout the year, day and night, give our blood and sweat for what? So that students score the maximum. Even if you mistake one question, this one will accumulate and you will make 3-4 questions wrong, then what is the point of coming to class? I am not asking you to memorize the Constitution. One. Second, I am teaching for 8-9 years. I almost remember the articles. Some of you, if you have seen the videos and all. So I remember most of the articles. Do you think it is possible for a judge of Supreme Court or a senior advocate to memorize all the articles? Because it is not directly related to their work. I am teaching, so I remember. Do you think it is possible for a student to memorize all the articles? Nahi. But those important articles which are frequently coming in the newspaper as well as which are appearing in the conversation during the lectures, you must go through them. So I very strongly recommend that you have an app of the Constitution. You can buy a book also, but nowadays you have technology, you have an app of the Constitution, and whenever we mention an article, 100% most of the articles you must go through the primary source. Gone are the days when UPSC is asking a secondary source. You must have an idea about the primary source. So मैं ये नहीं कहूँगा कि you remember all the articles. Of course I will not say, but undoubtedly I will say in the class today also they were asking, sir, last my list of important articles. Sometimes I give at the end of the batch कि भाई ये articles important है. So you must have a app of the Constitution. So one app which I was using for so many years, but nowadays a lot of ads do appear. So there are free version also. You download an app of the Constitution, okay, and whatever you feel like, that's up to you. But yes, you must have an app. If you have bought a book, that's perfectly fine. I'm not UPSC has nothing to do with you memorizing the articles. They will not ask. That is a waste of time. When many years back we were excited, we started memorizing articles. अरे वो तो exams उसका कोई लेना देना नहीं. those articles which are appearing time and again, you just read them and have an idea what is the content of those articles. So I will again add one more thing, that is the what you call app of the Constitution. Now few more things that I'm sure you are already flooded with so much information. Everybody is coming up with so many ideas, new things. So I don't give, I personally dissuade from giving gyan on those points. From the polity perspective, I feel that especially in the main stage of the examination, those students who are writing answers throughout the year, okay, everybody at Old Rajendra Nagar, I see in the class, after December, students become very serious. Okay, when they take admission in July, August, they make friends, enjoy 2-3 months, cannot place Duke of Connaught, getting my point. So they began, but everybody will start studying from December. Okay, December, other than few who are serious throughout the year, believe me, you are racing against time. So all those people who have started early, they will always be in at an advantage position to those who have started late. 2-3 important things are there. You're not required to read for the entire life. Most of the civil servants I see, they don't read much. Okay, they are so busy. Multiple reasons are there. The point is that you must understand the value of time. Must understand the value of time. If you are writing prelims next year, undoubtedly, I cannot afford, honestly, I cannot afford to say you have too much time. Of course, if you want to appear for exam, then you have ample of time, because appearing doesn't mean you fill a form, pay 200 rupees, 100 ke 200 rupees you pay, you book a cab with a cold drinks or a lemonade bottle, and you go there and chill and appear. Appearing exam is a different thing. Being serious about the exam is a different. Honestly saying, if my younger brother would be appearing for 2026, I would not say that you have ample of time if you want to qualify in the first attempt. And every year I'm surprised. अभी मैं interview panel में ऐसे तो time मिलता नहीं है. Last month February में बैठा था interview panel में. A student came. He was born in 2003. He was born in 2003 or 2004, just 18-19 days before the cutoff. Just 21 years appearing for interview in the first attempt. So there are students. Okay. So the point is, you must understand realize the importance of time. If you are preparing, prepare seriously. Otherwise, there is nothing. There are many things we can do. 140 crore population is not in civil services. Or you can do much better things also. That's personally your choice. There is nobody can judge you. Lata Mangeshkar ji cannot, such a great human being and a better singer, and so not necessary that she was from civil services, or Sachin Tendulkar is a civil servant. You may do well in various fields. Since you have chosen to prepare for serious civil services, then you have to be sincere and respectful about the same, because you are giving best years of your life. You can do so many things. It is equally good to be an entrepreneur. It is equally good to be a cricketer. It is equally good to be a vlogger. Okay, so that's perfectly fine. But since you have decided, don't waste time. Give 2-3 years. Give diligently. You must, because you wrote so many students today, they are asking such shortcut tip. So I said, should I be honest or should I be dishonest? Well, I honestly said, most of you have not prepared. And I can see the face and say that this you and have been diligent. Okay, so you must understand that if you're preparing, you should give your best. But the point is, ki baki to you are already flooded with so much gyan. Everyone gives you beta dil laga ke padho, all those things. Okay, which I don't like saying. Now the point is, ki what you do, those you go through the syllabus. Okay. And be prepared for consistently long consistent matlab 1 year. And I'll share a small anecdote with you, although there are many. There was somebody I know, he was writing mains test series. He was writing mains test series in the library when the UPSC results came. Somebody who was writing, he appeared for interview, he started preparing for next prelims and next mains. So he was writing mains test series when his results of interview came, and then he got under 100 rank and got IAS and home cadre. See the level of seriousness. After appearing for, I was there on that day, this is 7-8 years back. After appearing for interview, the person was writing mains test series jab unka result aaya, and he got through under. So it means that the person you are getting. So if you are writing test series throughout the year, or the questions that are given in the class, you must be engrossed in the process. You cannot, nobody can be so casual about the same. Taking admission, preparing for civil services is a different thing, and you have to be serious about the same. Over the period of time, I have just tried to give, because there are 4 more sessions. They're lined up na session, what you call this thing that we have. I just discuss this just a second. We have, you will have economics sir also, history and geography sir also would be coming. So for 2026, bhai, I would say ki you must be you must start early. Acha, ek cheez aur, just remember on the day of exam, 3 students who are well prepared, okay, and 3 students who got to know about the subject of the exam on the morning, on the day of exam. At the examination center, these students will be relaxed and happy, and these students will be tensed and stressed. So those who have worked hard in silence, they will make noise with their success. So if you will, if believe me, you will see there is a panic from December. I'm here now. I'm here for at least 10-12 years. 10-12 is zyada, okay, 13th year. There will be a panic from December. The non-serious one will also start studying from January, because there is a barometer, sphygmomanometer, thermometer, anemometer, sharmometer. So their sharam will go a bit, ki they have deal ki nahi, ki maa baap ne paisa bheja hai, to let's study. But what is the point? January say you are studying. Already the butcher has done his job from June to December. You are lucky that I am saying you this in the month of April. Use, I'm not asking you to study too much. Use your time very diligently. मस्ती करके, पर यहाँ मैं देखता हूँ कि पहले 3-4 महीने तो चिल्ड एकदम, क्लास में आ रहे हैं, खुश हैं पूरा, तो सर क्या करे, शॉर्टकट बता सकते हैं, बताइए, कैन आई शेयर द शॉर्टकट? कैन, सो if it is that easy, undoubtedly it will take some pain. Otherwise it will become very common. Every person you will meet, he'll say, I'm SSP Bulandshahr. Okay, so you have to start a bit early. Those students, I was teaching in Bhopal many years back, 7-8 years back. I remember there was a girl who was denied admission because she was not in first year. She was not in first year, so they don't give admission to those students who are in class 12th, and she was from sports quota. So she started crying like anything that I want to prepare, and started. So finally somehow they allowed her to sit under parental guidance, something, some parent used to come or whatever. Chalo theek hai. I was shocked that a student who is in 12th has started preparing, और तो बाकी तो I get इतने relatives हैं, some or the other person से, अभी my कौन तो मुझे some relative, one person, हाँ, there is a person who delivers food to me. He said, I want you please guide my daughter. Okay, so actually he's a nice person. I said, of course I'll guide. I said, you in which class? Bully 1. So getting my point. So 1. So I was, bhai thoda jeene do usko, getting my point. So I'm not saying start too early, but if you are lucky enough to have that wisdom in the month of April, start a bit early, use internet judiciously, and different faculties would come. They will be commenting more about that. I have tried to give whatever I can in 1 hour time. Okay, theek hai? So God bless you. All the best. Thank you.